Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. It's team news time. My name is Joe and I'm joined by Neale, Fantasy Football Scout's editor. Neale, welcome. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Joe. Yeah, how are you? How was your 2 weeks off?
Yeah, good. 2 weeks, very good. I was just watching all my players get slowly injured through the international break. And obviously I wish I was either Scottish or Irish as well because England qualified, but really boring. Anyway, congratulations, any of our listeners and viewers from Scotland and Ireland. Well done on either progressing to the World Cup or almost progressing to the World Cup. So that's good for you. Welcome to those joining us in the live chat. J77 Lag, Tin, FPL Double Pivot, Christian, Tiger, Mahomey, Martz, Piaz, Stephen, and many more. Thanks so much for joining us. And thanks everyone for joining us in the live chat for the team news. Let's hope we've got some good team news for you. Let's crack on with the first game for tomorrow, which is Burnley against Chelsea. We'll go with the home side first, even though the visitors are a bit more interesting for our assets. What's the latest from Scott Parker?
Yeah, he's one of four managers who faced the media yesterday, and he confirmed that Armando Broja isn't as seriously injured as what was thought. Speaking of England, it was during that game against Albania where he was stretchered off, and it looked like a long-term one, but it's not. He's even been on the grass and could even feature in game week 12, so not too bad there. Hartman's okay as well. Some people might want him, 4 million defender with a bit of attacking threat. He withdrew from the Netherlands squad with illness, but he's all right. He's trained since. And that is it. It's just the long-term ones. Jordan Bayer, Connor Roberts, and Ziggy Amdouni who are out.
Okay, with Chelsea, a bit more to talk about here. What's the latest there?
There is, yeah. Mostly good news because there are three flags that have come off. One of them, a big one in terms of FPL, Enzo Fernandez. He's fit, according to Maresca. He's obviously got these knee niggles. I think they're just going to plague him throughout the season. But he's had a couple of weeks off there from international duty. And Maresca said this morning that he's used the break to recover a bit of energy, to recover from an injury. So he's available, as is Pedro Neto, and as is Benoit Badiashile as well. So three all clears there, but not so on Cole Palmer, who was almost back from a groin niggle of his own. And he's broken his toe in a freak accident at home. Apparently, he kicked the door or something like that.
Kick the door?
And yeah, it's an entering into the long list of freak football injuries, like the likes of Steve Morrow and Dave Besant with the.
No, I'm no expert on anger management, but if one kicks a door, just kicks a door, that's sort of, they're a bit angry about something.
Yeah, maybe he was, unless he didn't want to play Barcelona and Arsenal, as some cynics are suggesting.
Some people do anything
really
to get out.
The door just to get out of that.
Yeah, do anything.
But yes, anyway, he's red flagged again, as you might have seen. I think he might have been 50% while folk were thinking that he was coming back from this groin issue. Okay. But he's not going to be available for Burnley. He's not going to be available for Barcelona, nor for Arsenal in game week 13. And then beyond that, we're not sure about the timeline. So it's fractured, and he's obviously not available. Apart from that, I think it's just the longer term one. So Lavia, Colwill, Isugo, they're still out. Woodrick's suspended as well. But everyone else is technically fit. There might be some question marks over fatigue because Caicedo, for one, I know a lot of people own him. He played 180 minutes for Ecuador and was very late back from the Americas. He played on the early hours of Wednesday morning. This is a Saturday lunchtime kickoff as well. And Enzo Maresca, who said this morning he hasn't actually seen Caicedo yet. He got back late last night, so I think there's some risk of a bench in there.
Okay, righty-o. Before we go on, someone in the live chat asked me to turn the heating up because it's very cold in the UK at the moment. I did actually turn my heating on just before we did this, so I'm nice and cosy and warm. So I'll try and do that. Perhaps, who was it in the live chat here? Gordon. He's listening from Thailand. Even better way, why didn't Gordon just invite us all over so we can all go to Thailand and enjoy that? That would be much more interesting than sitting by a radiator in Somerset. We had another comment here from Stephen. Low volume on this particular stream. Well, volume seems okay for me. and everyone else. But if anyone else is having any issues, let me know. It may well be, Stephen, you just need to simply turn your volume up. Okay. But do let us know if that is an issue for anyone else. Okay, let's move over to Bournemouth West Ham. Now, big news for Bournemouth. Semenyo's in loads of teams, in my team as well. Will he play?
Yeah, that's a question. And Iraola didn't know when he was asked this afternoon. So this is an injury that is not new as such, although it is fairly recent. Apparently, this was sustained against Aston Villa a fortnight ago, but he went away with Ghana regardless, and he started the first of their 2 games. It was called, in the technical terms, left anterior talofibular ligament strain, an ankle sprain to you and me at home. And as Iraola said at lunchtime today, he said there's nothing new that's happened, but he cannot tell us if he's going to play tomorrow or not. They're going to leave it up to him to decide whether they can play through the pain. Often when you leave it up to players, they tend to give a positive interpretation of events, I think. So there's still there's still some chance of him playing. There is no chance of Kluivert playing, who came back from Netherlands with an abductor injury. He's out. So too is Ben Gannon Doe. So that's 2 of their attacking midfielders down, both international injuries. Tyler Adams and Adam Smith, I think they collided with each other in Game Week 11. So they've been following the concussion protocol. They are technically available, so they're out of it. But Iraola said that their training's been affected as a result of that protocol, so they're going to have to make a call on them too.
Okay, so that sounds to me, as a Semenyo owner, that he could possibly miss out on this one, but it's not. It doesn't sound like he would miss out the following week or in the weeks to come. So it could just be this week.
It could be, yeah. And it's obviously, and there's a lot of players in the Premier League who are playing through pain at the moment. I mean, we've talked about Enzo being one. I think João Pedro and Caicedo have been others. Neto too. Iraola later on in the press conference when he's asked about Semenyo's future, he did say that his concern is more about whether he's going to be available for this week, and if not this week, then next. So he's talking short term, I think.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's for me. I'll probably keep because I've got Rodon as my first sub. So I guess the advice is if you're going to keep, make sure you've got a first sub. If you haven't got a good first sub, it might be something you might want to move on. But I don't know. Bournemouth's fixtures are pretty good coming up as well, and Semenyo dip in form slightly, but still good. Missed a penalty last time out, so he could have got a big haul there. The other question about Bournemouth, if he doesn't play, because Doak's not available as well, Kluivert's not around, who would sort of play in his place? Because Tavernier would definitely play, you would imagine, Evan Nilsson up front, but who else could come in?
Well, they've got David Brooks. Okay. He would presumably start as well. They've got Adley, who's not really, he's been sort of peripheral since his summer move, but he's a wide option. They've got Scott, who can play as a 10. And then they've got abundance of midfielders like Christian Cook, who can come into the middle. So they've got options to switch things around if Semenyo doesn't make it.
Yep. Okay, West Ham, what's the latest there?
West Ham, yes. Going back to yesterday, because this was when Nuno spoke. Lucas Paqueta is definitely out. He's suspended because of a yellow card accumulation. Apart from that, Nuno was his usual cautious self with team news. He was asked about Mavropanos and Fulkrug and Freddie Potts, 4.4 million midfielder, who's been starting recently. And he wouldn't give anything away. He said they're recovering. In fact, he said they are recovering 5 times in a row, and then said getting better day by day. And then they're going to see in today's final session before they evaluate. With Freddie Potts, he only had a dead leg. We think he only had a dead leg in Game Week 11, which isn't a serious thing. Mavropanos and Fulkrug, Nuno had previously said that they should be back after the break, so I think they're all close. Otherwise, Nuno hinted at players returning from international duty with knocks, didn't mention any names. George Earthy's training, but unlike the feature. And Scarles and Fabianski, we think, are still out.
Okay, next up, 2 teams with 2 clean sheets apiece, but Brighton, who host Brentford, have got 2 clean sheets most recently. But yeah, I think there's going to be goals in this one. What's the latest from Brighton as they prepare to host Brentford?
Yeah, Mitoma's short-term injury, which was short-term, I think, before the October break, drags on. It sounds very much like he's going to miss out again, judging by what Ursula was saying this morning. He was pitched in training, actually, and Herzl has confirmed that he's been on the grass. But it's a pain management thing. So it's not like he said there's nothing structurally damaged. It's just how to handle this ankle pain. And he did say, I can't tell you exactly when he's going to be back exactly. So that does imply that he's going to miss out again. Better news elsewhere, though. Hinchelwood's available. Yes, and he shrugged off a minor ankle issue while he's playing for Sweden, so he's fit. And so is Gruder as well. He's
Okay.
been past fit. Solly March, remember him, and James Milner. They're only a couple of weeks away, 2 or 3 weeks from returning. Webster's long term.
So I laugh because March has been 2 or 3 weeks away for about a year.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Hertzler's timelines are erratic, I think, aren't they? I think Tommy Watson's out as well, but other than that, I don't think there's anything new.
No. Okay. As for Brentford,
Yeah, they've lost another midfielder for the season, so they'd already lost Malambo for the entirety of this campaign, and now Fabio Carvalho's out as well, an ACL injury, and he's had or will have surgery on that, and that's his season done. Josh Da Silva, who's just re-signed for the club, actually, he's still on the injury list with a knee problem, but he's a bit more shorter term. So those three are out, but other than that, no fresh concerns. And Christopher Ayer, who missed out in Game Week 11 with a back spasm, he is fit.
Okay, good stuff. Let's move on to Fulham against Sunderland. What's the latest from Fulham? I understand there might be a little less rotation up front for them.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, Rodrigo Muniz is out until 2026 February, I think. Marco Silva said this afternoon. I should mention, of course, that does boost Jimenez's minutes, but he himself has been playing through issues of his own.
Okay.
I think Silva said before the break that he hadn't been able to train properly in about 2 weeks, but he's been featuring regardless. And then he went away with Mexico. And he did Silva talked about other options that he's got, Harry Wilson being one, as like a false nine type of thing. So, but yeah, you would think that helps Jimenez to some extent. There's only Muniz and Anthony Robinson who are out with injuries, but they're also without Sasa Lukic through suspension.
Okay. And as for Sunderland, I've got Alderete in my team, but he had concussion for about a month, which is really worrying. What's the latest with him and some of the other Sunderland assets ahead of this?
Yeah, we'll start with Alderete. He went away with Paraguay over the national break, so he's obviously out with the protocol, concussion protocol.
Okay.
But didn't play a minute. He was on the bench in the friendly against the USA, and then promptly waded into a big melee on the touchline and got himself sent off, and thus suspended for the second match. What's the one thing you don't want to do when you just had concussion? Start a fight.
Oh my God.
With, 20 players. So, and Reggie Debris said yesterday, he says he's a bit like that, but he can react quickly to some events. So he did say actually it's bad news because they wanted him to get minutes. He hasn't had minutes for a while.
Yeah.
And now it wasn't possible. So he is now short of match sharpness for quite some time.
So you imagine if he does well, if they want to give him minutes, but that could indicate this one might be a sub appearance, maybe.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not going to put him in with Predator lineup. Another cheap budget Sunderland defender, Reinildo. He's fine. He withdrew from the Mozambique squad with hamstring discovered, but he's all right. And there's positive news elsewhere as well. They had, I think, a trio of longer-term absentees playing for the under-21s last night. Sirkin, Mundell, Yelder as well. I think they all got game time. So that just leaves Elise and Habib Diarra on the sidelines.
Okay, righty-o. Let's have a look at Liverpool against Nottingham Forest. So this heralds a period of very good fixtures for Liverpool, which coincides with a lot of interest with understandably a lot of interest in their players. So yeah, special attention to Liverpool. Who's back? Who's not available? Etc. Etc.
There's one big returnee, that's Alisson. He's on course to play, provide no goals well in training today. And Arne Slot said if he is ready to play, then he will start. So there's no doubt about Mohamed Ashford keeping his place. Two new blows though, and it could affect Szoboszlai, who has been attracting some interest in FPL. But Connor Bradley's out and will be out for some time. Slot said he wasn't expecting him back at any point during these. He's got I think they've got 7 games in 22 days or something like that.
Okay.
So he says he's not going to be a part of that by the looks of it. So considering that Frimpong's also out for a similar period, that leaves him without a right back, other than, I guess, the versatile Joe Gomez. Even he missed training yesterday. Was expected back today, but Slot said they're going to be really careful with his minutes. He's not going to play all that time in the next 3 weeks because of his own injury proneness. So we could see Szoboszlai right back again after his recent return to midfield. Curtis Jones is also an option there. Florian Wirtz, yeah, he's out as well with muscle injury. I don't think it's quite going to be as long as Bradley.
Okay.
But that's 2 new additions to the injury list. Frimpong, as I mentioned, still out. So is Leone. He's out for the season. Andy Robertson's fine. He only missed training on Thursday for private reasons. I think it was a family funeral or something. And yeah, Slot also sort of lamenting the match fitness of some others, like Alexander Isak, for example. I think they wanted him to get minutes for Sweden while he was away over the break, but he was one yellow away from being suspended for those playoffs in March. So Graham Potter didn't use him in the second game, so he didn't get as many minutes as what Liverpool would have thought. So I think that will point to Ekitike starting again against Forest.
Okay, so that would assume, with Wirtz not around, Ekitike probably playing instead of Isak, Gakpo should be quite safe for this one, you would imagine.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, that's it's probably as much as anybody else's boosts Gakpo's expected minutes, I think, by... I mean, the thing is, only one. I think it might only be one game with Wirtz, but certainly this weekend, if you want to like a 1 week punt, definitely Gakpo is going to start, I think. And then Szoboszlai might be needed at right back, which means, I guess, could be Jones, McAllister, Gravenberg in midfield. Goal could be Jones at right back and Szoboszlai further forward. So there's not many options.
No.
Slot's got, other than perhaps Chiesa, who just doesn't start Premier League matches.
That could be quite interesting for anyone with Semenyo, who are perhaps wild carding in Game Week 13. I'm not. It sounds really specific. I'm not doing that myself. Perhaps wild carding there because you could take Semenyo out and have a 1 week punt with Gakpo this week. This looks like a good match for that. So I do think Gakpo could be a good sneaky differential pick this week. Nottingham Forest, how are they set up for this?
I believe this is the last one from yesterday. So they could get Callum Hudson-Odoi back. It was just a dead leg that he missed out with in Game Week 11. So he has made progress and he's been on the grass this week. Everyone else though remains out. So Chris Wood, that includes him. He is getting rescanned on this grumbling knee, is what Dyche called it. And it's just part of the process, but not ready to return this weekend. So he's still out. So is Douglas Luiz. So is Bakwa, Aina, Zinchenko, Angus Gunn, all still out. But there is one. I was going to say nothing new. There is one thing new. Taiwo Awoniyi. He's picked up something against Leeds, so that obviously means Hugo Jesus is going to start off front.
Okay, yeah. When they say Chris Wood is getting rescanned, good news so far. I'm assuming that means he's not playing. Does that mean that he's just getting rescanned, but he could end up walking onto the pitch?
He's out. He's definitely out.
He's definitely out. Okay, that's fine. Good, good stuff. Okay, let's move on to Wolves against Crystal Palace. Let's go, quickly Wolves, because not much interest in them, because they're a team to beat at the moment. But they do have a new manager, Rob Edwards, from Luton fame. Wolves. What shape are they in for this?
Yeah, not too bad. We did actually get a team news question from opposed to Edwards, which is often the case in new manager press conferences. But he confirmed that Matt Doherty's not quite ready to return. He is on the grass, but he's not ready to feature. Rodrigo Gomez and Dan Bentley, one of the backup goalkeepers, they're still out as well. Agbadou's back. He was serving a one-match ban last time out, but he's available now. And that's pretty much it. Okay,
and as for Crystal Palace, there was quite a few potential injury doubts for this one. What's the latest?
Yeah, including one I wasn't aware of, or anybody was aware of. Mateta was briefly a concern, I think, but apparently not now. He returned from France duty with a minor knee problem, but he has trained.
Okay, that's good.
So he's fit.
That's good.
Yep, and good news elsewhere as well. So Mark Gahey, a lot of people will be wondering about him. He started training on Wednesday, and he did 3 sessions, and Glasner says it's good. All players are fit. That includes Eddie Nketiah as well, who's a Mateta relief. So he's trained the whole week and he's available. He did say all players are fit. It doesn't mean the long-term one. So Decore and Kapoor are still out, I think.
Okay.
Chetty Riyad, he's just been back in training from another very long-term injury. Daniel Munoz, actually, he came back or left the Colombia squad early, but this was just for family reasons, personal reasons. He was attending, again, I think it was a funeral in Colombia, so he should be fine.
Just to note a bit of chat about who might start up front for Liverpool. Concerns over Isak being fit or not match fit. Lightman says that Isak's not match fit, which would follow on from what you were saying, that they wanted some minutes for Sweden and he didn't get those minutes. And Bob is absolutely resolutely is match fit, but then says he's had 3 weeks in training. That's not quite match fit though.
No. I mean, if you just look at what Slot said this morning, that they wanted Isak to get game time. That was what he was talking about.
Okay.
He's not. Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Rightio.
100%.
Okay, not 100%. Newcastle against Man City. What shape are your team in as they face Erling Haaland and co?
Slightly better. We could have Gordon back. He is very close to return. And we could have Tino Livramento back as well. And again, the same words, very close.
Okay.
Were used by Eddie Howe this morning. Nick Pope's could go on better than that. He's fit. He had a concussion in game week 11 and pulled out of England squad. But he's passed the protocol, so he's available. Joe Linton's available too. He had a knock after game week 11. So is Sandro Tonali. So he returned early from Italy duty, but that was more about load management. So they're all fit, or very nearly so in Gordon Livramento's case. So that just leaves Wissa and Asula, two strikers there on the sidelines. He's with his sports scientists, according to how they haven't got a return date yet. But he's beginning what Howe described as sort of like a pre-season in terms of building up fitness and match readiness. So I think it's still a week or two away from seeing, at least probably from seeing him. There is one other line, not injuries, it's suspension. Dan Burn is serving a 1-match ban.
Okay, rightio. And as for Man City, I anticipate this being quite short.
Yeah, for once. It's just 2 players out, Kovacic and Rodri.
Okay, rightio, that's fine. Bob is still talking in the live chat, convinced that Isak's going to play. Maybe he will. Maybe Bob knows. Let's move over to Leeds and Aston Villa. Okay, what's the latest for Leeds as they prepare to host Aston Villa? I've sort of lost track of Aston Villa for a little bit, but I think I might be interested in them next week. They've got good fixtures then, and I guess this is a good fixture, but Leeds are okay at home. So, but anyway, we'll go with Leeds first.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, even shorter than City. Yeah, everyone's fit for Leeds. So not one player injured, according to Fark.
Wow. Okay. That is wow. Magic water in Leeds. Aston Villa. What's the latest there?
Yeah, the only definite absentee is Tyrone Mings. So he's out, I think, until the new year with a hamstring injury. So all the players who returned from international duty with knocks and niggles and what have you, they will train tomorrow by the looks of it. So they're probably all going to be all right. That includes Matty Cash. That includes Ezri Konsa and Amadou Onana and Lamar Bogard too. So I think this is very much a case of international breakitis.
Okay.
With those four, and it sounds fairly positive.
All right, J77 Lag in the live chat actually asks specifically about Man City, just going back to them, whether O'Reilly will start. Do you think, is he going to be in your predicted lineup?
Well, he's certainly got the form at the moment.
I think so.
Playing very, very well. And given the magnitude of this fixture, I think obviously medium term, you're never going to get any guarantees with City, but he'd almost certainly be in my predicted lineup this week, yeah.
Yeah. I would, I mean, I'm not in the market to get him this week, but if I was, I would feel confident of him playing, put it that way. Arsenal against Tottenham. Well, one player I'm not confident of playing is Gabriel, because we heard from David Ornstein, I think it was from The Athletic, that he's going to be out for a number of weeks. I predicted this. I joked with FPL General earlier in the week that I was now a trained doctor, because I'd looked at the internet for 30 seconds and found that an abductor injury is probably, an abductor strain is probably 3 to 6 weeks out. And hey presto, how long is he going to be out for, do you reckon?
Well, I would only say weeks this morning, or this afternoon, sorry. And that they're going to be a further scan next Wednesday to get the proper timing. Whether we actually hear about that, I'm not sure. But yeah, widespread reports are suggesting 1 to 2 months, I think, for this. A minimum of 4 weeks was what I'd read.
There we go, yeah.
On, like you say, The Athletic and elsewhere. So he is a sell now, especially with the volume of fixtures in December. I mean, that's going to be multiple game weeks. There's others as well to report on from Arsenal. Calafiori, he left the Italy squad without kicking a ball, actually. And he is yet to train since returning to North London. But we've heard that many times before, where someone's yet to train, but actually they do train before the game and they play.
Okay.
And from what I've heard about this, this is not. There was apparently no concern from Arsenal side about this. It was kind of just precautionary. I think even Gattuso said he could have played, but it wouldn't have been fair on Arsenal. So I think this is very much
Okay.
bit of a smokescreen.
Yep.
Timber, no mention of him. I mean, he suffered a cut to the knee. I don't think there's any concern here.
No.
In the Netherlands clash with Lithuania, he had a bit of treatment actually, but then played on, came off second half, but it was part of a triple sub. No mention of him since, so I think he's fine. And then some more Artetaisms on the already injured group. So this is Gyökeres, Martinelli, Odegaard, Madueke, Havertz, all closing in, all nearing returns. I wouldn't say whether they're going to feature this weekend. He said that they're going to have another training session tomorrow and see how some of them are feeling, whether it's a bit too close for this game or not, or whether they feel make a contribution. So he wouldn't tell you which one's which.
Okay.
We did hear from Nagelsmann that Havertz had a little setback.
Okay.
But I have seen it reported that Odegaard might be involved. So nothing really much of use from Arteta there. Gabriel Jesus has been in training. We know that much. He's trained for the last fortnight, and Arteta said that he's going to get some exposure in in-house games. So he's been out for a long, long time. They're going to try and build his minutes up gradually.
Right, yeah. And so who do we think is going to replace Gabriel in the back line there?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look into this. Mosquera's had the most experience so far, but explicitly on the right. Like even when he's played with Salah's like moved to the left. I think I'm right in saying that.
Right.
Was that against Liverpool? So I think Gabriel is the natural left-sided option, and I at first thought I would think him, but I'll see what the consensus is on Football London and elsewhere. And Emma's jumped away of predictions and things like that. Because it's a bit of a toss-up, I think.
Okay.
See what the consensus is. So it'll be one of those two anyway. Right. I don't think he's going to move Calafiori and then bring in Lewis Skelly at left back. I think Calafiori's doing so well there. I think he'll keep him where he's.
Okay. And as for Spurs, how are they?
Yeah, much better. They've got a number back. Bergval, Sarr, Kolo Muani all past fit. Kudus as well. He's trained. Even some of the longer term ones are trained as well. So Archie Gray, Takai, Ben Davis are all trained. Dragusin, even longer term than them, he featured for the under 21s over the break. So he's trained. So the only ones who are definitely out are Solanke still, Madison, Kulusevski, and Basuma. So they've got a lot healthier now over the break.
Rightio. Okay. And final one. I mean, it's quite a long one, this one, because there's a lot of international injury news to get through. So, final one, though. Manchester United against Everton. This is Monday night. What's the latest from Manchester United?
Yes, we'd heard that Sesko was going to be out for around about a month, and that seems to be the case. Amorim said that he's going to be out for a few weeks, but then talked about the return date being around about the time when Mbeumo goes to AFCON, so that'll be about mid-December. So that kind of fits. Maguire's not ready to return either. Casemiro's fit. He picked up a knock in game 11, but then played for Brazil. And Kobe Mainoo, who missed out against Spurs, he hasn't trained yet, but will do tomorrow. So it might be available. Lissandro Martinez as well, who's been out since I think, was it January or February? He's been in training now for a few weeks. And Amorim said today that he's a lot closer now to being involved in a match day squad. So we might see him on the bench sooner rather than later. There was, away from injuries, there was a line of notes on Mbeumo, if anyone owns him, as I do. So this is about AFCON. Players will depart at the latest for and miss game week 17, but there is possibility that they miss game week 16 as well. And Amorim said this morning that Mbeumo should technically be out for game week 16, but that discussions are ongoing with the various football associations around the world to get them to delay that to the last minute. And it has happened in the past where I think
Onana, he missed the first game.
In fact, I think he played the day before the tournament started for Man United, and then went.
Yeah,
so There is precedent there. I suspect a lot of Premier clubs will come to agreements where they get to delay their players until after 16.
Okay.
But we'll see. Well, that's one tomorrow
Yeah.
anyway in the weeks ahead.
Okay, so if you've got Brian Burmo, we're thinking of getting him in. It's very likely he'll play game week 16. It's game week 17. He's gone. So that's what you're after there. So you've got a few game weeks of him to enjoy his points, no doubt. And hopefully, as a Bruno Fernandes owner, I will be enjoying all the assists he provides for him. What's the latest from Everton?
One new addition to the injury list, Merlin Roll. He's had I think, hernia surgery, so he's out for a few weeks. Patterson and Brantwaite, they're still injured.
Okay, rightio, that's fine. That's it. So I'll round up as best as I can. Available: Enzo Fernandez, Badiashile, Pedro Neto, Hinshelwood for Brighton. Ayari has recovered. Gruder as well could be back. Allison should be back for Liverpool. That helps their back line a lot. Renildo and Alderete should be back, but there's doubts over Alderete's minutes because he needs to get match fitness. Pope is fine after concussion. Tonali should be back. Nketiah, Gahey, all fine. And an injury that I haven't even put it in to available there, but Mateta was briefly a doubt with a knee problem, which no one ever heard about. And by the time we did, he wasn't anymore. So he's completely fine. Moani, I should have shut up then. Moani and Kudos are fine for Spurs. Questionable though. Broya with an ankle problem. Toma's got this knock that's must be one hell of a knock. Must be knocked by a lorry or something because he's been out for like half the season so far. Anyway, Potts dead leg. Fulkrug muscle problem might keep them out. Hudson-Odoi dead leg. Gordon's hip problem may keep him out. Livramento knee problem may keep him out. Semenyo ankle problem, that looks to be sort of pain management kind of thing. It might be up to him whether he plays or not. So we'll see for that. Calafiori should be okay. We think that he just hadn't any minutes there. Consa, the exact word is hopeful. Same with Cash, hopeful. And Onana, the Aston Villa Onana, is to be assessed. And in the out column, Palmer, he's got a toe problem. He just almost recovered, and then he kicked a door. So he's got a toe problem to keep him out. Bradley, muscle problem is going to keep him out for a while, number of weeks. Verts, probably just a week or so. Muscle problem as well. Frimpong, he's out for a while with hamstring. So right back issues there at Liverpool. Paqueta suspended for this one. So who penalties could be up for grabs. Chris Woods, knee problem is going to keep him out. Dan Burns suspended to keep him out. That's good for those wanting to captain Haaland. Cliver, knock problem is going to keep him out. Same with Doak. Hamstring problems there. Muniz is not going to be out. He's not going to be back till February. So Jimenez, who does have some problems with his own fitness to deal with, but he should have a clear run if he is fit himself up front. For Fulham, Lukic is suspended, however. GABRIEL, thigh problem, going to keep him out for weeks. The prognosis is around 3 to 6 weeks for that type of thing, but they seem to think it could be kind of 1 to 2 months. So we might have many, many weeks without him. So he's a sell. Sesko, knee problem's going to keep him out for a while. And Maguire is not going to be fit for Manchester United. He's got a hamstring problem. I think I've got most there.
Yeah, good stuff, Joe. I think, yeah, we'll round it up.
Excellent. Thanks a lot for that. Now, we'll be back next week. It's no midweek next week, so it's normal next week, next Friday. We'll be back there. And then we've got some midweek fixtures, but we'll keep, stay tuned with Fantasy Football Scott. Stay tuned to the channel, and we'll work all that out, and we'll give you the team news that you want, hopefully.
We will, yeah, and actually it'll be someone else doing it as well the next 2 weeks. Probably Mark or Tom, because I'm going to be away on jury service actually.
Oh, really?
I'll not be here. Yeah, so we'll have probably Mark. I think will fill in for me over the next 3 game weeks. I think. Okay,
rightio. Okay, well, good luck with jury service. I've covered many a court case from the other side, from the press desk. Looking at the jury, I always look at the jury and think, thank God I haven't on jury duty. But it's it happens to us all at some point, maybe. And so, good luck. I hope it's interesting.
I've got some of those fake, those Homer Simpson glasses with the fake eyes. I've got some of them was ready for.
I hope it's a really interesting case, and I hope it's not some really complex fraud thing that collapses. Basically,
takes 2 years. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Thanks a lot for your time. Take care. Thanks everyone watching and listening. See you soon.
Bye.